And good afternoon, everybody. Here we are once again doing another art stream. Got a dragon I've started working on here. So I just figured I would try and get this finished up today on stream. So I think from this point on, I think Wednesdays are going to be my art stream days, and then Saturday is probably going to be gaming streams. Hello there, Winter. I'm doing good today. Tiny bit of a sinus headache, to be honest, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. How are you? I hope your Wednesday is going well. It is Wednesday, right? My days are so mixed up. Oh, I'm glad to hear you're doing pretty good. So I think Wednesday is gonna be my my art stream day. I was gonna do Mondays, but it just kind of turns out Mondays are really bad for me to do anything. It's kind of an admin day, and it's when I process orders from the weekends for my Etsy store. It's when I respond to a lot of correspondence. I end up getting pretty busy on a Monday to where I really can't do like much side stuff after, like, you know, sitting and doing emails and stuff for several hours. And then Friday's kind of the same boat, because I was going to do Monday and Friday, and then Friday is when I send out any orders that I've done that have come in since Monday. And though it's not a lot of orders that I'm having to send out, it still sometimes is enough for me to have. Sometimes I have to actually print and cut stickers. Sometimes I've got to figure out packaging stuff or order things. So I think Wednesday, Saturday, those will be my days. If I can somehow at some point manage to squeeze more days for streaming in, I will. Like, I kinda want to do daily streams for October because of Dracoween, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to actually do that. That might be a little hard. I might attempt it, but I'm guessing it's gonna probably not really work. Yeah, I get enough orders in just to keep me busy. I wish it was more, to be honest, because I could, you know, I got bills to pay, but it's not bad. It's picking up a little bit. What is this? I think we're doing Libra today. And this is an economy design, so there are some call-outs, specific things I have to do for this design. And I might have designed myself into a corner because they want the character kind of split down the middle, but the way this is drawn is going to be really hard to do that, so I'm going to have to get creative with that. Ah. And for this one, I'm not even sure on what colors I'm going to do yet. I've seen like a lot of stuff saying like pink. So I might do like some kind of pink and blue design maybe. And I was gonna try and get this done yesterday so that I could get it posted, but I ended up only getting about like a third of the way through the line art. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes line art is my bane. It's one of the things I like the most about some of my art, and some of the things I like the least, because it just feels like sometimes it just takes a really long time to get it done. One of the reasons I do enjoy doing the Dracoween stuff every year, because I don't concern myself as much with getting the line art perfectly smooth, because it's more sketchy. So I can do more of a sketchy thing, get it done, and then all the colors are black and white, so the pieces go a lot faster. And sometimes I feel like it'd be a bit more creative because I'm not having to be so concerned about, oh, like I have to do all the shading, or I have to figure out all these colors. Where it's just black and white, I can just focus on kind of making the sketch look cool, and then get the monochromatic details like in there. And so it's one of my favorite times of year, and it's just kind of a weird thing that I just came up with the one year to do just black and white designs, and it's just what I've been doing for the past several years, and I don't know, they end up looking pretty cool. I also just got the zine for last year's art. I just got that in my hands, and that'll go up on the 1st in my shop. So I'm also doing a digital card series for that artwork will come out on Neon Mob on the same day as well. So we're kind of doing a collaboration. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like it, and it's probably one of my favorite times of the year, because it's also very freeing too, and I can get those pieces done in a day because I can put a lot of detail into the line art, but I'm not having to specifically set it up for color or anything. It's just, I can be a little more freeform, a little more sketchy. You know, and it's also because it's like more of the Halloween stuff, so I can add extra things, and it can be a little more grotesque. It doesn't have to be perfect. And since I just posted Dracoween a couple days ago, I can now start actually kind of getting to work on those, which is what I'd like to do. I'd like to start getting some pieces done before Halloween comes around. So if I want to take a day off, I'll be able to, rather than um, working every single day of October, which is typically what I'll end up doing anyway, probably. Because between now and December, I typically get really busy. Because then after Dracoween comes Winter Wonderland, which is full color pieces. And I haven't particularly been happy with the past couple of years with Winter Wonderland because I haven't been able to fulfill the daily artwork requirement that I set for myself. It kind of goes into January a little bit, and I don't want to do that. I tell people like, oh, your artwork's gonna be like done on a specific day, and then it doesn't, you know, like January 3rd. Oh, here's the final piece. I don't like promising stuff and then not delivering. And I know most people are cool about it. I still don't like, saying, oh, it'll be done tomorrow, and then it's 3 days later. Come on, do what I want you to do. There we go. That's better. But in other news, tomorrow I'm going to FanimeCon. Not FanimeCon, FanX. FanimeCon, I think, is in California. I haven't gone to this con since 2019, and it's here in Salt Lake City. It used to be Comic-Con, but then they got sued for calling it Comic-Con, and they had to call it something else. So they called it FanX. So I'm going to that tomorrow. That should be fun. Though for some reason I'm nervous about going because I haven't like done big public event thing in like it feels like years at this point. What con are you going to? And FanX is basically like a Comic-Con clone. That's mostly like comic stuff. And there really like aren't a lot of panels like I'm interested in viewing, so that's why we're only going to go the one day on Thursday. Just to like basically just go hang out in the dealer room and see what kind of goodies we can find. Oh, an anime con. Fun. Yeah, when I lived in California, we used to go to FanimeCon, which I think is in San Jose. Um, and that was always fun. But I haven't gone to, like I said, since basically since the pandemic, I haven't gone to a con. Yeah, I just want to go see Artist Alley and stuff. There's not really, I looked at the panel listing and I'm like, nothing really stood out to me. And I'm not like super big into like seeing celebrities and stuff because they have all that like, pay for photo ops and stuff. I don't really care about any of that. But hey, for those people who are into it, cool, it's there for them. I just want to go look at anime and like comic book stuff. That's why I'm going. I'm hoping for like maybe some cool like knockoff statues I don't own. Maybe see some like local artists that I watch on Twitter and whatnot. Yeah, my only concern is actually, I guess the cases of coronavirus are picking up here in Utah in the past like couple of weeks. So like, oh great. That's that's just what I want to hear before I go like into a sea of people. But I'm guessing like Thursday isn't going to be like super busy either, so me and my paranoid brain, I'm like, should I take a mask with me? Maybe I should. Yeah, you kind of can't get away from con crud, so it's just probably gonna happen. I'm probably gonna get something as if I go. I have been fortunate. I didn't get COVID. I haven't really been sick apart from like some weird stomach issues like a few years ago. I haven't gotten sick. Yeah, I have a mask in my bag. I just kind of carry with me, so I'll probably be taking it anyway. But it almost feels weird to be going to a con. I haven't done it in so long. I even considered uh vendoring at this one, but the prices for a booth were outrageous. I think it was something like $500 to table as a an artist alley, and they were trying to do this thing where you couldn't actually sell anything at your artist alley table. I think they reneged on that where you can sell stuff, but you can only sell paper merchandise, so you couldn't sell shirts or anything else, so only stickers, prints, kind of stuff. But like 500 bucks for a booth, and like in previous years, even when it was lower, I heard artists were having problems making back their table money at FanX. So I don't know. There are other cons that I might try tabling at sometime, but that just seems kind of egregious. Well, really, the runners of the con don't want to have a lot of artists there. They'd rather have like all the celebrities there to do the photo op stuff because that's where they're gonna make their money. The artist alley stuff, that's not where they're gonna make money. So they'd rather kind of push out the artists just to have big vendors come in than to have support small artists and local stuff. Because it's a business, but bottom line. But yeah, they keep raising the prices. I think 5 years ago it was like 250, which is that's pretty reasonable for like a big con booth. As far as I think that's pretty reasonable. I've never done one, so I don't know. And my sister tabled at that, and she barely made back her booth money. Yeah, but a lot of cons are gonna do that. And I don't know, like just being on Twitter and seeing some of the nightmare stories from this year of people doing cons and their stuff getting stolen, or booths that are literally just people who make AI art, or they've stolen other artists' art who are at the convention. They've stolen their art online and made like posters and stuff. And then the artist is actually there and they're like, okay, why do you have my art in your booth? And they're like, oh, well, it's mine. You know, like, it's so hard to be an artist these days. Where was I? Got the basic design done here. But I have always wanted to do a table at a con. I'm just in like a weird location. I'm in Utah, and there's cons all around me, but I don't know like how far I really want to travel to do cons. I mean, with the AI stuff, I think that that's dying down a lot because I think people are getting, even people who aren't really artists are kind of getting burnt out of the AI generated art nonsense stuff. At least I hope so. I just remember when that first started up and people who were like calling themselves artists and being like, oh, I put names into this algorithm and it popped out this awesome art. I'm an artist now. It's like, no, you just put some words in a prompt list and then get defensive about your prompts because you don't want people stealing your art. The irony. My only concern with the AI stuff is how many big companies are just going to be like, well, this is like cheaper than actually paying an artist. So we'll just have someone like make art in-house and use prompts. The other thing is, I could see AI potentially being useful even to myself if I could feed my artwork safely into a generator, give it some prompts so that it creates some ideas for me, and then I can use those ideas to make something. That could be helpful, But any generator that I put my art into, well, that company now owns my stuff. So oh yeah, and I'm sure they even knew about it, and they tried to play it off like, oh, we weren't aware, and we're our policy clearly states that it has to be by your own hands. They just did such PR BS with that. Well, I just like how they tried to play it off as they were unaware that it was a thing, even though they were clearly aware that they had done it. But hey, maybe they weren't, because I've looked at people who absolutely love a piece of artwork, and you tell them, oh, well, that's AI generated, and they're like, oh, okay. It's still cool, I still like it. You know, so people who aren't artists, who look at something and think it looks cool, are just gonna think it looks cool. Yeah, exactly. I would love to see it used as a tool to help me make something, to give me ideas and inspiration, not just as a means to do a complete and finished full drawing and I slap it on Etsy and sell it. And I keep coming across like Etsy shops that sell stickers, and it's quite obvious that all the stickers are AI generated stuff. But if you look at the sales on that page, it's selling. So unfortunately, it's not something that Etsy can track. How are they supposed to authentically determine that something that someone is selling is fake product? So it's the technology has advanced too fast for everyone to keep up. I think another problem we're also running into is you have people who are asking for legislation when it comes to AI artwork, but you're dealing with a congressional system of people who don't even know how the internet works. So how do you expect something to come about that actually is beneficial to artists and not just beneficial to large companies? Yeah, I have seen that too, where artists just draw really, really well. They draw very realistically, or they draw in that kind of um, what you would consider AI art style, and then people are like, "Oh, this is like, what program did you use to draw this?" Or like, "What AI did you use?" It's like, "Well, I drew it." It's like, "Oh yeah, but what program?" And I mean, I'm fortunate because who's going to copy my stuff? The worst I ever really get is people taking my artwork and trying to resell it as adopts on other websites. I actually had someone do that once, and I went to, and they got banned from this website. So I went to the website, made an account, and because I wanted to thank the people who like banned this person, and they like banned me because they thought I was a second account for this person and that I was trying to scam them. Hello there, Blue. Okay, having video proof is great and all, but I don't want that to be the norm. I don't want someone to be like, oh, well, can you show me your process video for the art you made? Because I don't always have a step-by-step process. Yeah, I can show you my Photoshop files, but I'm not going to always take the time to make a video or show proof that I actually drew it. I think that's asking too much. Yeah, sometimes I just don't have the time for stuff like that. Oh, I absolutely hate when I accidentally come across my artwork on some other website. And sometimes it's really easy to have it taken down. You confront them, you say, you know, you let them know, like, hey, this is my stuff. They'll take it down right away. And sometimes it's an absolute, like, nightmare to try and do it. Like, I had a bunch of stuff, a big problem with Amazon especially, where lots of my stuff would be on Amazon. And for every single image, I had to send in a separate DMCA and fill out the paperwork. And now, did all my stuff eventually come down? Yes. But to have to take hours out of my day to file like 30 freaking DMCAs to have my stuff taken down was kind of a pain in the ass. Now, I'm glad like the DMCA stuff is like in place, that I can do that, that is an option. I just wish it was streamlined, it was a little faster, and some DMCA things like make me really uncomfortable because it wants you to put in like your address and phone number and stuff. And I'm like, you give that to the person who's copying your stuff. Like, why do I have to give up my personal information to someone else who's stealing my stuff? That just seems kind of terrifying. Redbubble's really good about taking stuff down. They'll do it right away, I've noticed. And Amazon took my stuff down right away too, but still having to file so many DMCAs was not fun. And I have noticed that it looks like maybe my stuff is on file now, because I haven't seen any of my stuff on Amazon in probably at least a year. So you maybe hope they fed something into some algorithm somewhere that catches my stuff when it gets posted. Or my stuff isn't popular enough to be garnered for t-shirts. Is that how you know you've made it? If like if people are stealing your artwork to try and sell? Yeah, that too. I'm sure people like get tired and they'll just move on to someone else's artwork to steal. Because it wasn't even like they were just taking the artwork, they were actually taking the my Etsy listing images of like shirts and posting it as like their own stuff. Not even cropping out like signatures or anything, just there it is. You don't have to spend money to support artists. Coming to art streams, commenting on posts, liking someone's Twitter post or something, that is just as good as spending money to a lot of artists, and myself included. Just saying something nice. You would be surprised how that makes someone's day. And I think a lot of artists will concur that, like, yeah, you don't have to spend money to, like, be supportive. It's appreciated, mind you, but you don't. Now, comments are like the bread and butter of an artist's life. Yeah, it's people kind of grifting the system. They put a bunch of stuff out there to see what kind of sticks. But goodness, speaking of freaking scam stuff, the number of emails that I get on a daily basis of people like trying to scam me is ridiculous. I've gotten exceptionally good at figuring out what is a scam and what's real. Actually, almost to the point where it's I have to question every single email because you start wondering, is this legit? Is someone actually asking for a commission, or is someone just trying to get me to click on a link so that they can like steal stuff from my computer? The oh, I'd love to use your art as NFTs thing. Is that what we're talking about? I've gotten less of those lately, but I think I got one yesterday. I hadn't gotten one in a while. I think one of my all-time favorites is getting email notification from some company from Instagram, and it's always, oh, we think your work is a perfect fit for our company. We would love to have you as, like, we'd love to have you, like, take a sponsorship. And it's like, you don't even know what I draw. You know? Like, I have, like, my last post maybe got, like, 10 likes on it. There is no way you want to actually have me, like, do some kind of sponsorship deal. I mean, it's not like DA can really, like, stop that stuff. As, you know, you just have to be vigilant. You gotta make sure that you're aware that there are bad actors out there doing stuff like that. I think the emails I get the most are, your PayPal, Amazon, Kohl's, blah blah blah, some account has been suspended due to strange activities. Like, no. And it's, of course, like, when you look at the email, like, the text is all kind of gobbledygooked. It's just like, this is so obviously fake. Do people really fall for this? But apparently they do. I'm just gonna be honest, like, the DA messaging system, I hate it. It's so clunky. I'm glad that when you pan over someone's name now, you can just send them a note rather than the messaging system thing, because I absolutely hate it. I refuse to use it. Yeah, I'd much rather, like, send someone a note, because I can keep it all kind of, like, succinct and in one spot, where the messaging system just, and it doesn't always seem to work really well. Like sometimes I don't know how it is recently because I don't use it, but in the past I'd open the messaging system and it would just be a blank screen. It wouldn't actually show me any of my messages. And then maybe a couple hours later it'd be working again. Anyway, it's not a great system. I'd rather just use notes. Notes just work just fine for me. I mean, the only thing I use it for is to check and see who's spamming me garbage messages. Because no one uses it. Only the bots use it. Oh, I saw that the other day that there was a false notification and I clicked and I was like, did I get a note I didn't see or something? And nothing was there. Like, there's some things I like about Eclipse, and some things I definitely don't. Like, it's kind of customizable, but not really, and I think some of the old HTML codey stuff made it more, yeah, some people didn't know how to do the HTML coding, but I think people could be more creative with it. But I believe DeviantArt was purchased by Wix, and they wanted to do some more Wix integration, but they kind of haven't. So I was under the impression that there was going to be kind of more stuff added, but maybe it's just a slow rollout. I don't know. Yeah, they could add some more themes, maybe. Yeah, I actually almost regret. I had a Wix website. I now have, what is it? Squarespace. Because Squarespace was a bit cheaper, as far as like paying for domains and stuff. But I almost regret switching because I do think the Wix website editor thing was better. But being a Capricorn, I have to go with what has a better value as far as money goes. So, so I went with Squarespace instead of continuing to pay the kind of it was a little I don't know. It was more than I really was willing to pay for just a domain yearly. It was like $300 or something for just the domain and the website. I just didn't really want to pay that much. I mean, Squarespace is nice though. It actually runs nice, and it just doesn't have as many features, I think, as the Wix editor. It feels a little limited, but it's not bad. It's probably just as easy to use as Wix. I just think Wix has more bells and whistles. But one thing that Squarespace does have that I was kind of interested in is you can set up a, what do you call it, like a monthly subscription service. So you could do kind of a Patreon-ish thing on there that like bills people monthly, and then you send out, you know, your monthly goodies to people. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So that might be like something I try to do later, because I have a Patreon I've kind of abandoned. I need to go back and do stuff on. I want to. I've been so busy, and I haven't really known what to do with my Patreon, because I wasn't adding anything really special to it. So with maybe doing streams again, I can do like a patron-only stream or something. But again, too, I'm not super big into doing things where it's like, it's limiting access for people. I don't really like that. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't know what to do. Apart from now doing streams, I could offer like a patron exclusive stream, maybe do something where I make artwork on that stream, then offer that to my patrons. It kind of fell to the wayside, and I feel bad that I've just kind of left it. It's there, I'm not doing anything with it right now. It's kind of like the same thing where DeviantArt has tried to get me to do the subscription thing on their site, so basically just like a Patreon thing, but I don't know what to offer. I don't know what to offer the people who follow me on DA. So it's just like, here's some more dragons, I guess? Yay! Because I'm also a really bad judge of like what people like. Something I necessarily might think is really super cool, like other people are maybe lukewarm about or really don't like at all. Like trying to figure out what designs to put in my shop as stickers is such a crapshoot. It's like, it's a 50-50 chance whether people will like actually buy it and think it's cool. But at least as far as my stickers go, I'm making them in-house, so if they don't sell, well, that's fine. I wasted some material and some time. It's not like I used to do, where I would send them off to be printed, and then I have 50 of them made and I sell 10, and then I'm stuck with 40, and I spent a bunch of money to have them printed. Now I can print small batches. If they sell, great. I can continue to sell them on my shop. If they don't, I can pull them, maybe do a discount or something on them, and not feel bad about it. Also, I have quality control, which is very, very important to me. Because boy howdy, have I ordered stuff from like websites expecting it to be a certain way, and when I actually get it in my hands, like, it will have been fine the very first time I had it printed, and then the next times it's absolute trash, and I hate that. I am all about consistency, gosh darn it. Oh yeah, that's a weird thing, right? So I'll put a bunch of work into something, I think, oh, this piece is gonna do well, people are really gonna like it, and it gets, it's lukewarm reception. I put out something like, oh man, I don't really like this piece, like the composition looks crappy, the design is kind of blah, and oh, it's like 1,000 views, and like everyone loves it, and people are commenting on it, and it's like, what? Why? Look at the actual cool thing I made. Why are you looking at this one? I don't understand the internet sometimes. So yeah, I feel like I'm a terrible judge about like what people like and what they don't. And I put something up that's like rainbow colored, and everyone goes like gaga over it too. And I'm not a huge fan of rainbow colored stuff. I like kind of warmer colors and earth tone colors, and you put something with a rainbow on it, poof, instantly popular. Yeah, it's hard to know what people are gonna find appealing and what they're not gonna find, you know. I don't know. Of course, it could just be the algorithm. Exactly. Make all my dragons into Lisa Frank dragons. It's gonna make sparkle dragons. Just covered in glitter. I think I liked Lisa Frank stuff because it was, like, as a kid, it was the popular thing, and we didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't really afford to have those things. So it's one of those things where you want what you can't have. And, like, looking back at that stuff now, it's like, it's okay. It was colorful, it was bright. I can see why it was popular, but now it's not, like, my favorite thing. But I think as a kid, it was just one of those things of like, man, everyone else has a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper. Why can't I have one? Now I just want Godzilla stuff. So I have graduated from Lisa Frank to Godzilla and Hello Kitty. In fact, I have an entire wall in my apartment that is devoted to Godzilla. It is glorious. And there is a random line in the middle of my artwork here. Okay, there we go. Lisa Frank Godzilla. And speaking of Godzilla, there's a new Godzilla movie coming out, which I really want to see. And it's not the legendary one, it's the new Toho one, which is coming out in either November or December. I think it's coming out in December in the United States. And I haven't gone to a movie theater in years, but I will be going to go see that one. It will happen. I will brave the movie theater. Yeah, we used to, my dad had a big Godzilla toy that moved, and then it shot sparks out of its mouth. but the body was made out of like a foam rubber, so it eventually just kind of disintegrated. I mean, I would love to get my hands on one of those, but I'm sure at this point there's none left because I think that foam rubber like just fell apart. But I'm a kaiju nerd. I like monster movies. My dad used to collect Star Trek stuff. And I used to like really like Star Trek. I mean, I guess I like some of it. Like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, any of the, I've never even seen any of the newer stuff. I was into anything. I'm still and still am anything sci-fi. I just kind of grew up with a nerdy dad who liked all that stuff, so that was what I grew up with, and he got me into it, so I just kind of still what I like to this day. It was when I was a kid, we go to like Star Trek conventions and stuff. I just remember going to a Star Trek convention and they were showing off this like new thing that they were gonna like start showing, and it was a couple years before they introduced it, but it was the first like iteration of how they were gonna do Power Rangers, and I saw it like at this con. Like a couple years before they actually like released the Power Rangers. So they were showing like the Super Sentai stuff. When I was a kid, I didn't really know what I was looking at. I was just like, oh, big robots, cool. Rangers stuff is something I was definitely into because I was like really into like kaiju and monster movies, so you know, it's all like in that same vein. Dudes in big rubber suits running around fighting each other. Which is funny, like Final Fantasy 14 had their summer event and they gave everyone a Super Sentai suit as part of the event. And it made me really want to watch some Super Sentai. So like I went to Amazon because I was gonna buy the season of Super Sentai that was based off of that was used for the Power Rangers. And then I went to Amazon and it said I purchased it like several years earlier, and I had completely forgotten that I had bought it. But at least I didn't have to buy it again, I just had to figure out where to put it. Like, I was pretty into watching Power Rangers. I never had any of, like, the action figures or anything, or went to any of, like, the cons or any of that stuff, but I did enjoy the show. Up until they changed it, I didn't really, like, get why they were suddenly, like, in, like, fire trucks and ambulances and stuff. Where's the dinosaurs? And of course the Dragon Zord was my favorite because it looked so much like Godzilla. And Tommy was everyone's boyfriend. Is Power Rangers even still, like, on the air? Well, thanks for stopping by and chatting for a little bit. Have fun doing your stuff. Oh, they're putting it on Netflix, huh? I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, but they're still kicking it around a bit. Now, I am not 100% certain what colors this thing is going to be. We will. I'm just gonna do kind of a random color to get started. And then we'll go from there. I can always change up colors as we go. So they're going back to the dinosaur theme, I see. Okay. It's cool. I think dinosaurs are neater than, like, fire engines and stuff. Yeah, precisely. Like, I don't know. When they did, like, normal vehicles and stuff, not that I really watched it. I think I was, like, older when, like, the rescue stuff, like, came about. But I always liked, like, the dinosaurs and the dragons and the animal monsters and stuff. And that just appealed to me more. I remember, like, I really liked Beast Wars back in the day. I remember watching that pretty religiously. And then maybe a couple months ago, I went back and saw what Beast Wars looked like, and I'm like, oh my god, I watched this. The CG looks so bad. But at the time, it looked so cool. And now it's just like, oh wow, wow, how things have changed. I think I watched Gundam Wing because it was like on, I think, what was it, on Cartoon Network? And I just watched it because it was anime and available. It wasn't that it was really something I wanted to watch, but I wanted to watch anime. So that it was there. So that was really the only reason to watch it. My first exposure to anime was Robotech. Our PBS station uh, showed anime really late on Sunday nights when I was in high school. And so it was Robotech, Tenchi Muyo, and Lum. Yeah, Toonami. But yeah, so my PBS station had Robotech, And I was really into Robotech until midway through the season it suddenly changed, and then I find out later that Robotech was like two separate animes kind of hodgepodged together to try and make one series. It was so bizarre. It's like two completely different series, but they both have like space battle-y stuff happening, but they tried to like mush them into one series. I was very confused when all of a sudden there was like a pop idol star singing during like the show. Because it was something about like powering stuff through the power of music. It was like, but there was a war happening and now there's a pop star singing. What? But I love Tenchi Muyo. Tenchi was great. And it wasn't the Toonami version of Tenchi where they were actually like not wearing towels when they were in the bathhouse. They were just in the bathhouse, taking a bath. But it didn't show anything, so I really don't know why they insisted on putting like towels and stuff on the characters. They weren't, you didn't see anything. Oh, and hello there, is it Sumoka? I hope I said that right. I'm trying to read chat, I swear. But it was back in the day when any anime was like, I would gobble it up, even if it wasn't something I particularly liked. Because it was something to see, because there was so little anime. And if you went to go buy any, it was, you'd buy it on VHS, and it was 3 episodes, and it was something like $40 a tape. Oh yeah, it is talking about like anime stuff and old things I used to watch back in the day. And spending all of my money at Suncoast Video getting like anime episodes. 3 at a pop, buying one like every couple of weeks so I could watch like something new in a series. It got expensive. Yeah, if it was anime, it was like $40. And you only got 3 episodes. And I could only afford like maybe 2 VHSs like that a month, maybe. My library didn't have anything like that. My library definitely didn't have any anime. I just remember like people would during lunchtime would bring their bootleg copies of like random anime that they had gotten from places and sit and huddle around the television during lunchtime and watch some like terrible random anime, but we'd love it because it was anime. I own both of those. I love Escaflowne. And I'm actually missing the second VHS of Ray Earth. I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. I can't say I am aware of samurai pizza cats. But I am intrigued. Like, it sounds vaguely familiar, but, like, I can't place it. Like, my brain's just like, nope, those words don't go together. And I vaguely remember those two shows. Vaguely. So long ago. Goodness. Now, I'm not probably not going to use these colors exactly. I'm just kind of trying to get some ideas about what I want to do here. Like, could I tell you what either of those shows were about? No, but I do vaguely remember them. Like, I know I watched them on Saturday mornings. That is definitely not a show I remember. Super Robot Monkey Team, Hyperforce Go. Me, that just does sound familiar though. God. Like saying it, and it's just like, that does actually sound like something I saw at some point. Like, what were we exposed to as children? I mean, I am a child of the 80s, so 80s and 90s. So anything from those time periods, I'm good on, typically. Yeah, 2004, I was obsessing over World of Warcraft. Probably not into the cartoon scene at that point in time. Actually, I don't even think I had cable right at that point in time. I think we dropped cable. We weren't really watching television. I still haven't gotten cable to this day. It's pointless. Just watch whatever I want online. I think we all have seen strange stuff online. I think some of my favorite, like probably my favorite shows as a kid growing up. I'm not even really sure. I guess it was late 80s, early 90s, like Batman the Animated Series, reruns of Transformers and G.I. Joe. And I lived with my grandmother, and she was super weird about me watching that stuff because it wasn't appropriate for a young girl to be watching. Let's see. I think we had DSL in 2004. But we got that because, like, we were rating, so we had to have good internet. I actually kind of miss being super into World of Warcraft. I haven't really played in. I mean, I kind of played Dragonflight, which is the current expansion, but I gave up on the game in Shadowlands. I miss it, but it's not as good as it used to be. Darkwing Duck, Spider-Man, yep, all those. Actually, a lot of like the Disney afternoon stuff was super good, like Gargoyles and Aladdin. I really liked those shows, and I wish they would put Aladdin on VHS. I actually really enjoyed that show, but I don't think they ever will, which is kind of sad. Oh, X-Men, yeah. The second you mention that, I hear the theme song in my head. It's just like the DuckTales theme song. There's just some theme songs that get stuck in your head, and then it's just the eternal loop. Hey, someone do me a favor and look up what metal is associated with Libra. I think it's copper. Pretty sure it's copper. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Hello there, freeze-dried rat. Welcome to the stream. Just working on a dragon and talking about old cartoons we used to watch. And anime. Speaking of anime, what was everyone's first anime that they remember watching? Okay, I think my first was actually that weird Robotech like show that I watched on PBS. I think it was my very first introduction to anime. Apart from like, you know, like Sailor Moon and stuff like that. But I think Robotech was my first. Pokemon, there we go. Naruto. I'm gonna have to look up Samurai Pizza Cats. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to do that tonight. Yeah, but it was anime from back in the day. It didn't matter if it was good or not. It was there, and you just absorbed it because it was something to watch from Japan, which made it cool. Okay, guys, I need to AFK for just a quick second. I need to grab a drink, and I will be right back. Right, I have returned. Drink acquired. Now I can continue. And I still am not 100% sure how I want to color this dragon. I'm considering this person wants it to be the design split in half. Ah. Well, I can at least clean up the base colors and then kind of try to figure out what to do after that. And then actually figure out what colors I want to use. This isn't quite speaking to me yet, so we'll see. You know what I think was one of the saddest days of all time? The TV networks announced that they were no longer going to be running Saturday morning cartoons. Because I just remember as a kid getting up on Saturday morning, getting a bowl of cereal, popping down in front of the TV in my PJs, and just binge watching, like, cartoon after cartoon. Those were the glorious days. I don't know, just to like kind of take that away from a generation of kids just seemed sad, but I guess everyone just kind of watches stuff online or watches Cartoon Network or something. So it probably just wasn't profitable anymore to do that for the networks. Kind of sucks that that's like a thing. It's not profitable, so we're not going to do it anymore. And I understand they're a company and they got to make money, but it's still sad to see stuff like that go. I mean, it's kind of, I think, a problem with Hollywood right now, is Hollywood isn't going to take chances on something that is going to be a bet, so that's why we just see remake after remake. We don't see new stuff, because it's a risk that it could fail. Because I just remember, like, was it last week, I went and looked at to see what movies were playing. Not that I really wanted to go, I was just curious. And almost every single thing that was up for in the theaters was a sequel to something. There was very, very little that was new. And if it was new, it kind of looked like it was just some budget, like, horror movie, or just something that was just made quick to make a buck. And when you have everything that's just based around profit and making money, people lose incentive to do anything creative. Because they're just going to go with the sure bet. Because why risk your paycheck on something that might fail? When you know that the big blockbuster is going to do good. The big Marvel movie or whatever. Even though they're not doing good currently. I think people are kind of burnt out on superhero movies. I know I am. I used to, like, be super into that. And now, like, a new superhero movie comes out and I kinda don't care. And that's the worst. Like, when your audience is apathetic to the products you're making, that's when you got problems. And the thing is, like, so much of the stuff, even if it is new, quote unquote, it's kind of gonna be just a rehash of another plot that you've seen 1,000 times. It's kind of like, oh, it's another superhero movie. Great. We've seen this plot before. It's not gonna be anything different or new or exciting. It's just gonna be a rehash of what we saw in the last superhero movie. Or what was it, like, oh, it's My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. What zany antics will everyone be getting up to this time in this, like, third installment of this movie series? And I'd like to say, oh, well, maybe it's the strike that's causing, like, you know, we're just getting kind of the bottom of the barrel movies. But these movies have been in the pipeline for probably years. So this is just what Hollywood's churning out. This has nothing to do with the strike. This has nothing to do with, like, oh, we're getting the Remnant movies. No, we won't get the Remnant movies for, like, a couple of years. So the current schlock they're just popping out into the theaters is what Hollywood thinks we want to see. Yeah, Disney needs to stop trying to make live action anything. They just stop. Like, we don't need to see a live-action Little Mermaid. We don't need to see a live-action Lion King. The Snow White movie that they're making looks like an absolute disaster. But the problem is, people do pay to go see them, and if Disney's making money off of these movies, they're just gonna keep making them. Well, we may actually see some good movies come out of this, because you'll have people who are making independent films who aren't bogged down by what the studios want, and they might make something good without the interference of, like, studio input. I've seen plenty of movies that had a good premise, but then, like, towards the end of the movie, you can see where the studio had its hands all over it. Like, oh, we need a big action scene here. It's like, but the movie doesn't need it. Like, big CG action. Put it right here. Yeah, that's the ticket. But who knows? I don't go to the movies anymore, because one, I hate going to the movies and you sit near someone and they're on their phone, or they have kids crawling all over the place, or they're talking during the movie. It's like, I may as well just stay home and, like, watch stuff on, like, streaming. Yeah, I find, coming to my studio to do work is about as far as I travel these days, apart from being forced to go to the grocery store. Like, oh yeah, I need food. I should go do that once in a while. So going out tomorrow to do this con is going to be interesting, because me and my husband don't really go do much. But it'll be fun. It'll be a good time, I'm sure. And when I do go to the grocery store, we go as early as possible so that I don't have to deal with a bunch of people. Because nothing is worse than going to the store and you're just trying to get bread or eggs, and there's a person standing in front of the aisle on their phone, completely oblivious to you, but they're blocking, like, the thing you need. I hate that. I hate that so much. I want to just ban phones. Like, phones are great. You can play games on them. You can look up information. You can get phone calls. But why are you standing in the middle of, like, a grocery store texting on your phone? You're like, can't you wait, like, 10 minutes? Can't you just finish your groceries? Yes, self-checkout is the best invention of all time. I will agree to that. And right in the middle of the aisle, too. Not even off to the side, but, like, right in the middle, blocking everyone. And they're completely oblivious when you want to get past. And they look at you like you're the rude one. I love people. People are great. The grocery store like a couple blocks away from my house that I just walk to if I just need to grab like a couple things. They have had self-checkout for years, and they removed it, and it terrified me. I was like, what, I have to go up to the cashier and actually check out with a person? Thankfully, about a week later, because they're remodeling, they put the self-checkout back in, so I'm safe. I only had to interact with a person one time at that store. And actually the people at the store know me and they're really nice. So it's just kind of a joke, but I was like really concerned because I was afraid they were gonna remove the self-checkout. I don't know. I don't know if I can illustrate that in my style to do like a patina to the copper. Because like to do pitting and stuff, I don't know if that like will work. We'll see, maybe, but sometimes I feel my style is a little limited because it is kind of just like a cel-shady style. And I can do gradients and stuff, but to do other detail can be difficult at times for me. Um, I will just be frank in that category. I've kind of wanted to try experimenting with other styles. It's just finding the time to actually experiment. Like, I've never really done painterly stuff. I've always kind of done cel-shaded work. And I've always kind of wanted to learn more painterly ways of doing things. But I tend to also only stick with one brush through the entire process of drawing. Well, yeah, I understood what you meant, but that's still kind of going to be like, how do you... Because if I just add green, will it, to make it look like aged copper itself, wouldn't the just look like green? Would you know it was supposed to be copper? Where I'd want to do something so it kind of had that, like pitting kind of like texture to it. Because I mean, yeah, see, it's like that kind of, it's not really quite copper, but I could go in to do like that kind of Statue of Liberty. Oops, wrong thing. See, I can do that kind of Statue of Liberty greenish blue color, but then it just, does that look like it was supposed to be copper? Where if I wanted to do something, you know, where I go, like, oh, it's got some kind of wear on it. So that's a question. Are copper dragons actually, do dragons actually have like a metallic scale? So is there actual like metal in their scales that would turn them, start turning patinaing and turning them green? Or is it just a thing where we call like a copper dragon because it's slightly copper colored? These are the questions of our time. But they're organic beings. But, I mean, they're also magical. So, are they, like, elemental, actual, like, gold dragons are actually have gold in their scales? Or is it they're called gold dragons because they're gold colored? I never really thought of that, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm intrigued and I want to do research. But like chromatic dragons don't have any metal in their scales, and they're just like a color. The answer is they are magic, and therefore they can be whatever they want. Because magic answers everything. Oh yeah, don't the metallic dragons actually eat certain metals? Maybe that's part of it? Or I'm making something up, I don't know. It's been a while since I played D&D. The keep whatever headcanon, it's D&D. Keep whatever headcanon you want. See, but that doesn't make sense because all the artwork for Copper Dragons does have them with green tint to them, like they've been patinaed. So we'll go with they have metal in their scales. New lore. No, because magic. They're protected because they produce heat, so when they melt themselves, technically, they breathe fire. Gotta ask the important questions. But again, I don't think I've looked at a monster manual since 3rd edition? Well, I'd hope so. They just have really bad cases of heartburn. I like that we are discussing the anatomy and physics of dragons. That's important, because I like dragons. Man, does anyone remember when Discovery put out those documentaries about like mermaids and stuff? And people actually thought that they were like the real documentaries? And then were upset when they found out that no, mermaids weren't actually real? Was that one of those? That was one of those Discovery documentaries, wasn't it? They did like a dragon one, and it was actually really cool. Or like the dragon was living in like an ice cave. Yeah, it was a cool documentary. And it was like the last two dragons, and there were those bad humans, and they came and they hunted the dragons. I love stuff like that. I think it's neat. Give me more stuff like that. Oh, okay. I'm just remembering like that Discovery documentary about dragons, and it was cool and I liked it, but it was along the same vein of like the mermaid documentary, and I think people got upset about the dragon one too because there weren't disclaimers on it saying that it was fake. It's like, it's about dragons. Yeah, it was actually like really well made. I think you can watch it on YouTube. I don't remember what it was called though. It's probably just called like Dragons or something like that. I think it was a very generic name. Yeah, that's what it was called. Exactly. And I think they had to put the fantasy made real because too many people were like upset about the mermaid documentary. To this day, one of my favorite things to still watch not is any dinosaur documentary stuff. I love dinosaur documentaries. I gobble that stuff up. Though there was one that was done recently, and this was like done this year or just last year, and it was so bad that it was almost like just kind of laughable to watch. Because most of the information was super outdated and like really bad, weird CG, like CG from like the early 90s. I liked that one. I think a bunch of that was put onto YouTube. I think the season 2 of that comes out pretty soon. It wasn't Prehistoric Planet, was it? Or was that the BBC one? Or was it? Anyway, yeah, I like that one. I thought that one was really good. And I think there's a I think Netflix is gonna release sometime this year, or they've already released it. I don't know because I don't have a Netflix account right now. A series on like megafauna, which will be cool because I'm like, there's never really much talked about for the megafauna. It's like saber-toothed tigers and dire wolves and stuff. So I want to see that one if it comes out. Yeah, I think some of the patterns were a little out there, but you know, we don't know what dinosaurs like actually were colored. Um, have I played Ark? Yes, I played Ark a few years ago. I was really into it. Um, and then my computer died and I lost like my saves and stuff, and I haven't re-downloaded it since then, so maybe someday I will go back and play Ark. Even though Ark 2 is supposed to be coming out, but who knows when that's gonna happen. Though my game was super duper modded, so. Because I wanted all the pretty cool dinosaurs like right off the bat. And I wanted a neat looking base. So I had a ridiculous amount of mods for that game. No, just thinking, one game I really actually want to get back into is Starfield. Not Starfield, No Man's Sky. That's another game like I was really into back before my old PC kicked the bucket. And then I just haven't gone back to it since, and I know there's a big update for it. There was some controversy, wasn't there, over the Ark remaster? Like, I don't remember what it was, but I remember there was some big hoopla about it at some point in time. I mean, even a couple years ago when I was playing, it was... I started playing it when it first launched and it was absolute garbage. And then I went back and played it, you know, maybe like a year later, and it was so much better. And now I guess it's just phenomenal. And if you want to play a good space game, go play that and don't play Starfield that just came out. Even though I've heard, like, it's an okay game. I have to take news also with a grain of salt because I still don't understand if Final Fantasy 16 did well or if it did bad, because it's either it did phenomenally great or it did so abysmally poor it's gonna bankrupt the company. I don't. So like I have no idea. Like the news is so weird when it comes to games. I need to get back into my playthrough of Baldur's Gate. But I think I'm gonna... There's a mod to make the camera and mouse move differently, and I think I have to download that so I can move with the keyboard and move the camera with the mouse. Because right now I play so many other games where that's how you play. it's actually really frustrating when I go to play the game and like I try to move my character with the WSD ASD commands, and I'm moving them out the actual camera around. I hate that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to find the mod for that. 'Cause I don't want to mod anything else. I just want to play more comfortably and hope that my dice rolls are better, because my dice rolls are so bad. I save a lot, let's just say that. Like, oh, I'm about to talk to this person to like get a thing, I better save just in case I botch the roll completely. Oh, I just tried to recreate my Final Fantasy character in Baldur's Gate. I just made her a tiefling instead of an Ara. Oh no. My rolls are so bad. I don't understand why my rolls are just the worst. I get into a combat situation too, and it's just I'm gonna die. I don't know if there's some weird glitch in the game, but I never roll well. Every encounter is just like, well, I guess I'm gonna die. Sorry, I saw that and that excited me. They have a mod for that? That's cool. I think I saw to turn that off. I think I did. But my rolls are still bad. I think personally I just have bad RNG overall in anything I do. Maybe tonight I'll go check out some of the mods and see what is, because I know there's freaking tons of mods. And I'm still in Act 1 because I'm taking my time. So starting over wouldn't be too bad if I can find a bunch of mods I like. It's cool that the game has such like a wider range of like people making mods for it. It really does increase the longevity of a game. Like, it's silly, even something like Stardew Valley having mods has made that game like live way longer than it probably should. Wow, that's a lot of mods. That sounds about as many mods as I had in Ark. It would take like 10 minutes to load the game because it was having to load all the mods into the game. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I kind of got obsessed with playing Palia, so that put Baldur's Gate on the back burner. But I'm caught up in everything to do in Palia right now, so I should go play some Baldur's Gate. Man, I don't know why Arc would take so long. Like, I had a decent PC at the time before it died, but it would just take forever to load. I even, like, removed some mods to try and help it, but it still, like, took forever. I think that's another reason why I haven't really, like, reinstalled Arc, is because, like... Yeah, it was fun to play for a while, but just, like, the load time was abysmal. And sometimes it would get really laggy and bog down my computer. Like, a lot. It doesn't seem like it's a very well optimized game. Yes, it is very unoptimized. Like, one single game shouldn't be devouring my entire, like, CPU usage. But maybe Arc 2 will fix those problems. Or make them worse, who knows? Oh god, when was Arc 2, like, announced? How many years ago? If Arc 2 even comes out. But I won't be a naysayer. Maybe it'll come out and it'll be great and we'll love it and it'll be the next best thing. Because I do like games like that. I don't know. I like games where I get to explore and build bases. Oops. I think mostly I like games where I can build stuff. I have to admit, when I was playing Ark, I was having a blast. The base building is pretty cool. I was breeding, like, horses to try and get crazy colors of horses. I had this giant stable where I was just constantly making ponies. And there were some really cool modded maps. And now I kind of want to go play. I mean, I'm sure my new PC could absolutely handle it, no problem. Yeah, some of the modded maps I had were freaking gorgeous. Like, way better than base game stuff. Yeah, but I have tons of games I want to play, just not a whole heck of a lot of time to play them. Like, I kind of want to do this, this Paley a fresh start, but I'm only gonna get to do like 1 or 2 hour, or like about like 2 hours at a time on stream, because I don't want to do, I don't want to play on that server off stream. Yeah, I have so many games in my freaking Steam library that I've not even like that I intend to play someday, but I haven't even like actually started them up and playing them. That's why Steam sales are the worst. Because I'll buy games and then never actually play them. Because I'm also the kind of person that I get obsessed with like a single game and I'll just sit and play it for months before I move on to something else. That's true. There have been a lot of actually like good games this year. Yes, Steam sales are dangerous. I have tons of games like I should play, I just haven't. And you get into the, oh, it's only like 20 bucks. I'll just like get it and I'll play it later, and then later never happens. I haven't played one of those games since, God, like, it was on PlayStation. It was fun. Like a new farmy sim game came out today, I think. And it looks super cute because it looks like Stardew Valley and Pokemon mixed together. So it has like Stardew Valley build a farm mechanics and the cute kind of pixely style, but you have like monsters that you battle with and that are your companions. I'm like, aw, I want to play something like that. Still play Stardew. I haven't played in a while, but that game's still fun. And they keep updating it. The guy who made Stardew is actually working on a new game in that same style called the Haunted Chocolatier. But that's probably a ways off before that gets released. Yeah, well, the guy who does Stardew makes everything himself, so who knows when the Haunted Chocolatier is going to come out. That could be years from now. But I will play it when it comes out. Because I really do like Stardew. But I think for now I need to take a break. I've been working on this for about 2.5 hours. I'm starting to lose steam here. So I think from this point on I will be doing streams Wednesday, Saturday. Art streams Wednesday. Saturday will be game streams. But I thank you for hanging out. I had fun. It's super appreciated when people come and like actually chat with me in the stream, because it's really hard to stream when no one kind of is there to bounce stuff off of. So thank you so very much for both of you and for anyone else who's like maybe chatting in there. I have no idea how many people are here. OBS does not show me that. So I will see you guys in the next one. I hope. And I hope I was semi-entertaining. But until next time, guys, you have a good day.